Yo, Skeptic here. Yesterday, as of this recording, Aether Studios released a video talking about Rivals 2's launch features. If you want to watch the whole video yourself, I'll put the link to the video in the description below. And let's quickly skim through the video here since I already watched the whole thing. I initially thought it would be a lot longer. I thought it would be around maybe 20 to 30 minutes, but it turns out it's only 4 minutes, so we can skim through this pretty quickly here.
Are ever locked behind a paywall or grinding. We announced at EVO this year that all of our current and future fighters will be free, forever. We want to ensure that no major aspects of gameplay are ever locked behind a paywall or grinding.
That is interesting, so let's go back to what Edalus was saying earlier. Put on the closed captions.
Forever. We want to ensure that no
major aspects of gameplay
are ever locked behind a paywall
or
grinding.
Okay, so if they're talking about gameplay not being locked behind a paywall, will story mode also be free? That's what I'm kind of wondering right now. I'll go more into detail about that later on, but keep that in the back of your minds for now.
With our release coming up soon, we're excited to finally be able to share some more of our plans for the game at launch and beyond. That's why today we're kicking off a short series of videos where our studio
Let's speed it up a little bit.
all the details of what's coming to the game on our PC launch October 23rd. The topics today will focus on the core gameplay features that will be in Rivals of Aether 2 at launch. This will be the first in a 3-part series of videos. Future topics will include a deep dive into our progression and economy, as well as our plans for the game post.
Now, I'm really curious about the currency and cosmetics, because this is basically going to tell us how they're going to monetize the game and how they're going to keep the game afloat. So this is the one I'm the most interested in. So I'm definitely going to make a video once they release this deep dive.
Post-launch.
Hey everyone, I'm Dan Pernacey, the studio lead at Aether Studios, and today we're going to be talking about some features that are coming to Rivals of Aether 2 at launch.
He's going to talk about some of the game modes that we already know about, but there's one in particular that we didn't know was coming, and I'm very glad they added this in.
Alright, so game modes at launch, starting with the most important one, it's online play. You'll be able to play Rivals of Aether 2 using our
Yeah, we know that. Online play, we know. 2v2, free-for-all, yep, we know that.
On one computer with your friends. In addition to Versus mode, we'll also be featuring a tournament mode that's built for live
Yeah,
competition.
tournament mode. Okay. They only show tournament mode in local versus, so I think, and I could be wrong about this, I'm thinking that tournament mode is locked behind local versus only, and I hope in the future that they'll add this mode to online matchmaking. So I do hope that gets added in later on, but for now, I think, and like I said, I could be wrong about this, I think it's locked behind local versus currently.
Stage striking and stage banning, and we even went one step further and built in rock, paper, scissors. That's when you're going to go into training mode. Here, you can set the CPU to a variety of...
And the training settings looks pretty good, but I wish they had a record and playback feature. I know they have save states and load states, as you can see in the bottom right. What I'm talking about here is that when I talk about record and playback, I'm talking about controlling the CPU character and recording their actions and then playing it back. So I don't know if it's in this training mode. I don't see this option, so again, I hope they consider adding this feature later on, but for now, it seems pretty okay for the most part. It's doable.
You can view hitboxes, and you can use our save state system to practice scenarios over and over. And the last local mode is very exciting.
Oh, here we go. Alright, hold on. Oop. Here we go, right here.
It is arcade mode. In this mode, you'll play...
We got arcade mode. I was thinking that on release, we were only getting local versus and online matchmaking. So I am so happy that they were able to get out arcade mode just in time for launch. The reason why I'm so excited about arcade mode is because I told a lot of other people this, but I would rather have something for the casuals to mess around with than having ranked on launch, because the hardcore players will stick around regardless while they're waiting for ranked. But the casuals, they're not as guaranteed, especially with the gaming landscape. Like, you have so many other games to play, you got Xbox Game Pass, there's just a lot of games to play overall, and there's just a lot more choices. So the market is just overall more competitive. So they're not as guaranteed. So having at least one casual game mode on release, this cannot be understated. And I'm glad that Dan and the team were able to get it in the game and on release. So I just want to say, good job, Dan and Aether Studios, for adding it. Thank you so much.
Play against CPU opponents in a variety of challenges, including a team battle, board mode versus multiple opponents, and a boss battle against an abyss enemy.
We got a boss battle against an abyss enemy. Let's go.
This mode was not initially planned to be at launch, but we were able to squeeze it in, and I'm very excited that the team could pull it off, and you can look forward to playing it day one. Along with the gratification of
Here
getting
we
better,
go.
we also want to reward our players even further. There will be character XP that you can earn across all modes that will level up your characters and grant you either currency or cosmetics each time you level up. There will also be a new event every month, and any XP you earn during that time will go towards cosmetics themed to that month.
Having seasonal cosmetics and events is important because not everybody can press buttons good. Not everybody is a good fighting game player, including myself. I'm a very bad fighting game player. So having a seasonal event with seasonal cosmetics gives both the casual and hardcore players a reason to come back. Because not a lot of people, if you're not a hardcore fighting game player, you might play a couple of games of online matchmaking, maybe you'll play some arcade mode, and then you'll dip for a little bit, right? And then by having these seasonal cosmetics and events, it gives the casual player or hardcore player a reason to just come back to the game to get that seasonal cosmetic or event. So I'm glad that they're doing this, because that is one of the aspects of a live service game that brings players back. So really cool that they're doing this. I like this.
No, it's nothing like a battle pass. It's a seasonal progression bar with rewards that are frequently cosmetic, and I guess it is kind of like a battle pass, but it's better because it's completely free.
That's the crazy part that I did not expect, that the battle pass would be free. Dan, you are way too generous, my man. I'm going to go more in depth with this topic when the currency deep dive video drops, but let's take a look at Rivals 2 as a whole right now. The base game is $30, not $60, not $50, not $40, $30, 30 bones, 30 clams. It's half the price of a AAA title. It has server-based, buttery smooth online rollback netcode, and not only is the Battle Pass free, future DLC characters are also free, and we haven't even talked about the items from the shop that you can unlock with the earnable in-game currency, like emotes and all that. You have so many things that aren't paywalled, and it honestly makes me worried, because if they make so many things free, then how would they make money for themselves? Like, I get it, right? They're not gonna put all the skins into the Battle Pass, and not all cosmetics into the Battle Pass and progression system. But you have a lot of things currently that are just free that are normally monetized in other fighting games, so I'm just curious as to how they're going to do it. Like, I do appreciate the fact that they're making this game for the people and for the community, and they want to keep updating this game for the long haul. And I know that some people in the comments may be like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure they thought of something already, but I just wanted to bring that perspective up just to have it in the back of your minds a little bit. And I know that no matter what they do, people will talk about monetization either way, because there's two different perspectives that you can have for whichever route they went. If they under-monetize the game, then people would say, okay, how the hell are you gonna make money? And if they over-monetize the game, then they're just greedy, and a lot of people would kind of bash them for that, even though they're an indie studio. Like, no matter what you do, you can't win, so that's why I'm just saying that I'm bringing up this perspective and this worry, because they're being very generous right now. And most likely, they're gonna make their money off of the in-game currency. I don't know if this will be earnable in-game, or if you can only just buy it outright. We'll have to see next week, but for the most part, it's basically premium currency. So that's most likely where most of the money will be made, aside from sales and other cosmetics that are not behind the Battle Pass. So I'm just curious. I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was kind of interesting. So let's continue the video here.
I'm super excited at what our team was able to accomplish for the launch of Rivals of Aether 2. The game is playing great, both online and offline, and it's super fun to level up your characters and unlock new rewards. And we're not done yet. With your help and your feedback, we plan to update and improve these features so the game keeps getting better.
Now, this shocked me a lot that they're not launching the game as early access. They're doing like a full release.
Rivals of Aether launched into early access. For Rivals of Aether 2, we're doing a full launch because this game already has more characters and more features than Rivals of Aether did when it launched in early access. We're also setting ourselves up to have as strong of launch as possible so we can expand our team and add more features as the game grows. Don't forget, this is the first video in our series, and next week...
Okay, let's pause on that for a second. I still have mixed feelings about this, but I'm more so okay with it because I would have had a problem with the game not releasing as early access if it just had local versus and online matchmaking. But with the addition of arcade mode, the game is more feature complete, so I'm more or less okay with them releasing the game in this sort of 1.0 launch state. Because it is technically true that this game has way more features in it than Rivals 1 did in its early access release. So I see the reasoning behind it. I still think that it should have released as early access because compared to other fighting games, it is really bare bones at the moment, but I understand the reasoning behind it. So I'm more or less okay with it.
We'll be doing a deep dive on our cosmetics, our currencies, and our in-game shop. We love our community, so keep that feedback coming and stay tuned next week for more information.
And they do want that feedback because literally after this video was posted, they have a kind of like a forum post where users can post things about the video or just general questions that they have. So before we check out the Nolt Board, I do want to go over Forsburn because he was shown a little bit here. Alright, so we got the little like round star animation, which is pretty sick. So he's in a puff of smoke. I like that little animation there. We're seeing Forsburn down tilt, dash attack. And dash attack looks really fast. Like, dude, look at that. We got the up strong animation, which looks really fucking cool. Look at that. Like the little smoke effect here, very, very nice. And then, is there any more Forsburn gameplay here? Not here. Oh, maybe. Oh, I think, was this where, yeah. So look at Forsburn right here. He currently has Fleet's mark on him. When he up Bs, it follows. So you can easily track him. So Fleet is gonna have a good time in this matchup, I personally think. Let's see, anything else? Any more Forsburn? Maybe here? A little bit. Oh yeah, I thought Forsburn's clouds would be a little bit more intrusive, but surprisingly, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like it's lagging up the game. So it's probably optimized, I think. And then we saw his victory, victory animation. There's the victory screen right there. Looks very, very cool. I like it, I like it. Very nice. And then I think that's about it, yeah. Forsburn just looks really cool. I'm gonna try him out, and I don't think I'll main Forsburn, but I'll definitely play him from time to time. So on to the Q&A section here. Ranked mode, I'm very curious about this one here. I don't think they answered any of these yet, but I do want to talk about the topics here. When will ranked mode be released, and how will you ensure the fun of casuals and competitives alike at launch without ranked mode? See, that's what I'm curious about. Okay, for competitive players, there's gonna be a lot of online brackets and locals to go to, so I feel like the competitive players will be more or less okay with the state of the game currently. The casuals, on the other hand, they mainly have arcade mode, so that is a little bit... It's good that they have arcade mode, but at the same time it's like, how many times will you run through arcade mode before you feel like you're completely done? Like, you'll probably do a full run through of the characters once. Would you really go through them again unless you're doing like a speed run? Maybe you're doing a speed run, I can see it. Or you're making content about arcade mode, like your personal runs and your speed runs. But other than that, I don't see them sticking around too long. And also, there was no mention of a tutorial mode in the launch features video, and that is very worrying. Now, I hate text info dumps, but at this point, you gotta have something. You gotta have something to teach players how to play the game, because not everybody has played a platform fighter. So, if they want more people to come into the game, they gotta have some form of a tutorial, or have a YouTube playlist that they can watch or something. Just have something on release. Another good question here. Will the seasonal skins be FOMO? I really hope it's not. Okay, so I kind of like the way that League does it, where let's say you buy or earn a Christmas skin within the winter event of 2023, and then some time passes and now you can't get the skin anymore until winter 2024. The vault opens up and now you can either buy or earn the 2023 winter skins. It's just every single year that the event is happening, that's when you can earn the previous skins. But outside of that time frame, you can't. So in a way, it's sort of FOMO, but not really, because you can still earn the previous skins. And I kind of like that method of acquiring seasonal skins, so I hope they do something like that. Because if you're a new player coming into Rivals 2, let's say 5 years later down the line, and the previous skins just weren't available, it would feel really shitty for the newcomers that want to play the game. They see a skin they like on a character, they look it up, and they can't buy it, and they can't earn it because it's in the vaults. It's just locked behind that specific year and that specific time frame. So I do hope that they do the league method and that every single seasonal skin is available during that specific time frame when the event is currently taking place, instead of just completely locking it behind that time frame and making it just completely unearnable. Is story mode still coming? I think that's gonna happen. I don't think they'll sack story mode. That's a very important mode. I don't think they'll put it in the trash can. So yeah, I don't think we need to see that one. This one's a good one, more accessibility for colorblind people. I think this would be nice to have. I don't know if they'll have it, but it is a good question though. Okay, let's see here. Battle Pass, FOMO, and grinding issues. This is not really a question, but feedback. I would like to point out something about Battle Passes that many times are not enjoyable between players. And that's... okay, so they're basically saying that the grinding and the FOMO of it makes Battle Passes unfun, and I do agree about that. It's good to have a free Battle Pass, but I suggest to keep them similar to Helldivers 2, so you can't miss those skins or don't need the urge to play and grind the game to fill up the Battle Pass. True, I like that a lot. My main gripes with Battle Passes and why I personally despise them is because of the grind and because of the FOMO. Like the fact that you can't, in some Battle Passes, you can't earn the previous skins, it kind of blows. It really sucks. And so that's why I've been a hater of Battle Passes. So hopefully Rivals 2 does a better job at implementing them, but we'll just have to see later when the game releases. I don't see anything else. Oh, okay. Advanced tutorials and combo trials. I do want this as well, but I don't even want advanced tutorials. I want basic tutorials that'll help new players get their feet wet. I feel like to me that's way more important, because advanced tutorials, like intermediate players, will find a way to learn about these advanced techniques and these niche mechanics. But the newer players, they won't really know about that yet. So that's why I prioritize having a beginner tutorial rather than advanced tutorials and combo trials. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't see anything else that's too interesting here. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. If you got this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone here has a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at, and until next time, bye!